Hello everybody, how are you doing this week? Welcome back to another weekly reading for January 11th, 2021. So I am recording this live in the group because I haven't been in the group for a while. So I decided to kind of hop on and record my weekly reading here live. So for you, those of you in the group, you guys get to see me live. You can interact. So if you're here, say hi. Let me know you're here. I love connecting with you guys. So I have spent a little bit of time in meditation. I've kind of tapped into seeing what's in store for us this week. Kind of really where we are at this point, right? Just kind of settling into what we need to work on at this point, because I don't know about you guys, but if you're in this group, it is very likely that you are either an empath or a healer, and you're a big feeler. That's what kind of comes with those traits, right? We feel a lot, feel big emotions, little emotions, other people's emotions, right? We take on energy, we give energy. So this week I feel that I know that there was a big spike in the Schumann resonance this week. I didn't get the actual numbers, but the chart was pretty white. So the energy was spiking, which means the vibration of the planet is rising again and taking us with it. That's the thing. This is all a journey. This is all, a time of ascending. We are ascending our frequencies. We're raising it up. And what happens when you're raising your vibration is everything that can't rise with your energy is going to be falling out, right? And the way it falls out is it kind of just falls right in our face sometimes, right? So I'm going to help you kind of take a really good look at kind of understanding what to do with that, those low vibrational feelings, experiences, emotions, pain, whatever it is that you're working through, right? So when I started writing down, I kind of tapped into what I was feeling. And the past couple days, personally, I've been really tired. I feel like I've been kind of dragging my butt a little bit. And I know when I get like that, I just succumb to it. And I allow that. And I used to push through and say, no, I've got all these things to do. I got to get all this done. Today's my days. Today's Sunday, right? I have all the time in the world to get everything done. And I would usually put too much effort in and then burn myself out even worse, right? So now it's just a part of just realizing, that it's okay to put things off to the side for a little bit. Whatever's going on now is going to be still going on next in the week to come, right? So it's just allowing yourself to put it down. That's the biggest thing, is the allowing. It's hard. So when you're tired like that, it's your body telling you it's time for rest, for reflection, for integration, right? There's been changes that have been happening in your life that you kind of almost have to pause for in order for them to really take effect, right? To really integrate into your life. And if you don't give yourself that time to pause and reflect and integrate, those changes are going to go away. And you're going to almost have to go back to square one and start again, right? So that's where self-sabotage comes into play. So when I was tapping in and asking my guides, like, okay, what's the energy this week? What do we need to focus on? The biggest thing that came up was to be easy on yourself. Be easy on yourself. And that is, it's really mental plane is where that it was coming from, being easy on yourself. So really paying attention to that self-talk, right? How are you talking to yourself? Are you building yourself up, or are you beating yourself up, right? And a lot of the times we never really pay attention to that. We know that there's thoughts going on in our head all the time. You don't pay attention until it gets to too much, right? Well, your guides are asking you to start paying attention to when things are going good and getting ahead of it, right? Getting ahead of whatever it is going to come up in, this this Schumann spike resonance, this resonance that's spiking right now, the energy that's spiking, it's going to be bringing you up. But when you're coming up, like I said, the stuff that's too heavy is not going to be able to come with you. So when it can't come with you, it has to be purged out. So really pay attention to how you purge things. This could be through crying, this could be through getting sick, and this could be through, just kind of shutting down mentally, physically, emotionally, right? Just how do you purge? How do you get rid of your junk, the junk in the trunk, right? How do you get rid of it? And it's just paying attention to that, so you know that it's okay to have that cry, right? When you're crying, your body is physically purging through your tears, right? And a lot of the times we feel bad for crying because we're like, oh, I shouldn't be sad, or I can't cry right now. This is not a good time. Well, the universe doesn't actually have, there's no such thing as time in the universe. So now is all that we have, right? So now is what you're going to take the time to purge, right? So yeah, it's just asking yourself, am I building myself up or beating myself up? Those are the two questions that are very important to just start asking yourself or paying attention to. So yeah, and then in order to travel down the path of least resistance, so we all want to go down that easy path, right? We all want to go down that path of least resistance. So this is the least challenges, the least problems, the things that aren't so hard, right? But the thing is that if you want to go down that path, you want to take the easy path. The trick to going down that path is you must clear your mind. You must be open and objective. You must remove all the emotion. For empath and healers like us, removing emotions almost seems impossible, right? But that's the thing. It's practice. It's a muscle, like going to the gym, right? Just paying attention, looking at what's going on. But then again, you can always look at changing your perspective too, right? Your perspective is huge. What you're looking at problems and challenges as, like, oh, this is happening to me, right? A lot of the times that's what we're thinking, that's what we're saying. But really, it's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for growth. That's really what a problem or a challenge is. And the funny thing is that before we come into this lifetime, before we incarnate into this body, we have put these problems, these challenges in our path to throw us off when we are not on our track, right? If we're not going down the track that we're supposed to, then we're going to be facing the problems that we pre-planned that would happen to put us back onto the straight and narrow, so to speak, right? Which is a very interesting concept that I've run into, and I can feel the truth in it. So I know that it's true, right? And it's just getting in tune with how you feel about things and adapting to your truths, right? So your mindset, your mind, whatever it's thinking of, money, finances, health, relationships, that determines your experience, right? It's so important. And that's one thing. So if you're always facing negative situations, right, going through hard times, you really need to take a look at the stories, the thoughts you have behind what you're going through, right? Because that's actually determining how you are experiencing this hardship, right? If you have a positive mindset, you're going to have a better positive experience. You're going to be following the path of least resistance, right? And you probably heard that saying before, the path of least resistance, right? If you're following Abraham Hicks or the law of attraction, right? That's all comes up all the time. So the path of least resistance, again, you want to go back to that state of no mind almost and no emotion. So it's just, in order to do that, you really need to just pay attention to the thoughts that are feeding the emotions that are determining the experience. That's the best that I can sum it up in the most simplest way, really. But yeah, that's the tips that our angels and our guides are kind of giving to me when I was tapping into this energy. So it's just basically, if you don't like what's going on, change the story that you have about it and then the experience will follow that, which is kind of crazy. It's honestly that simple. And a lot of the times we think that it has to be a lot more harder, it has to be more complex, right? But it really isn't. It's that simple. So again, if you're experiencing some of these turbulent times of change, a big thing is to stay grounded. Grounding your energy, grounding into your body, bringing back all of that energy back into yourself. Because a lot of the times as healers and empaths, we connect with a lot of different stories, we connect with different people, and when we're connecting with it, we're actually energetically tying cords to these people, places, situations, and things, right? So then when you're done with that situation, you go away, but that cord is still tying you to it. So that's why it's a good idea to ground, because when you're grounding, you're bringing back that energy into you, and you're cutting the cords that's draining your energy, right? So that's the thing too, is that I've been finding when I was really, really tired and drained, I just ended up giving too much of myself to other people around me or something like that, right? So staying grounded. So grounding, I talk about that all the time, right? EFT tapping, so emotional freedom tapping, there's that technique, right? And I share that video with you in the group. And then just visualization, just when life gets stressful and overwhelming and you have a moment to think and just realize when you're stressed, what that really means is that there's too much mind energy, that there's not enough energy flowing through the body, right? Through the meridians of your body. So you want to bring that energy down in from your head and down into your heart. Sit in that heart space. If you even want to just put your hands over your heart and just take deep breaths in and out. That'll ground you right there. And then go one step further. Once you do the breathing in and out in your chest and thinking of love and what you're grateful for, being grateful, making lists of gratitude is very powerful too. That's a great way to wake up. But that's one thing that The Secret teaches, right? Is when you wake up, you put your feet on the floor, take a drink of water, and then make a list in your head of all the things that you're grateful for. That's now how I start my day, every day now. And it's been working very well. It's been really changing things for me. So when you're taking it one step further, so you brought the energy down, you can visualize this like mess. It's like almost like a thunderstorm. You can even visualize it as a thunderstorm cloud, right? This thunderstorm cloud, you bring down that energy into your heart space, you fill it with love. When you're doing that, you're visualizing white light just pouring into it and making it brighter and brighter. Like you're turning up a dimmer switch, right? You're turning up that dimmer switch, and then you're taking one step further and moving it down, all the way down to through your legs, to your feet, and out the ground, out your feet. All that busy energy needs to flow, right? It needs to flow. It's designed to flow, but it gets stuck in the mind space. And that's when a lot of worry, anxiety, hypertension, hyperthyroid, everything, right? Like that's where you get your physical ailments from. So you don't want it just to get stuck in one place. You want to bring it down into your heart and then through the rest of your chakras and ground it out through your legs through the feet into the ground, and then visualize it. And after I do this a couple times, I physically start to feel my feet like rockets almost shooting out this energy into the ground, into the earth. And the earth just takes this energy and she recycles it. She uses it to grow plants, to feed the animals, to have the water flowing. You know, like this energy is always recycled. Energy can never be destroyed, right? So it's always recycled and changed into something new, something different. And that's really what it is, right? So you definitely want to get in touch with that and just ground and take a bath. If you can take a bath, great. If take a long hot shower, water grounds you very, very quickly, which is a great thing. Okay, so I'm going to tap into the cards and we are going to see what kind of messages come forward. I kind of babbled for a little bit. I like to do that because, you know, just tapping in and just understanding, just connecting with that energy is one big step, right? And then getting the validation through the cards is the next step for me. Just so that we can see where the guidance should go. So this week I'm using the Work Your Light deck by Rebecca Campbell. Beautiful deck, beautiful cards, beautiful messages. Love it. So I just want to know, I just want to tap into a collective for your energy, for my energy, for the energy of this group, and for the energy of everyone that's going to be watching these videos for this week of January 11th. What messages do we need to hear? What guidance do we need to get through this week with the path of least resistance? I think that's like the number one thing is the path of least resistance. That's almost like the mantra of this week, I feel. Maybe that would be it, path of least resistance, because that's where the focus is. As long as you have your focus in that area, that is what's going to manifest more and more, right? The more energy you give something, the more solid it gets, more real, right? So maybe just put that somewhere, write it down, put it on reminders, path of least resistance, right? That'll help you get refocused, recentered, put back into that place where you can really follow the path of least resistance and get yourself there. Okay. Interesting. I literally just talked about this, but I love the validation that comes through with these cards, you guys. Okay. So the first card that came out was protection. Protection. This says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. I literally just said that, right? Cut the cords, right? The energetic cords that tie you to and drain you. These cords drain you all the time, right? After you visited with that friend, either online or in person, you still get those cords connected, right? And if you have somebody that, drains your energy, maybe look at that relationship and say, okay, well, is this something that's, building me up, or is this beating me up, right? That's kind of what the gauge that you want to look at, because the more we move through this energy, the more we're raising our vibrations, the more that we're dropping off all of the lower vibrational stuff like guilt, old stories, old patterns, old habits, sabotaging habits, those are the things. Sometimes it's painful to drop them out, right? Purging them is huge, but it makes it a lot easier when you cut cords that are also draining you too. So the biggest thing is to start off with protection. This is actually a card that reminds me to also connect with my tribe, which is you guys. You're my tribe. This is a tribe. We're all here together. We're all learning and growing and expanding and shooting towards that path of enlightenment, right? That's kind of the ultimate goal, is to become enlightened. And you see these circle of women coming together and supporting each other, right? And that's a beautiful thing. That right there in itself is protection, right? So just setting up those boundaries is huge. That's number one. Boundaries, cutting cords, grounding. That's kind of what we're being called to do this week, I feel. That's really the messages that are really coming through and very strong. So the strong messages I know are like the biggest things, the biggest hurdles. I wouldn't say hurdles. I would just say the biggest things that we need to work on, right? So protecting yourself. The next one that came out was soul family. Connect with your soul family. These are the people that you go to and you have that innate connection with. Like when you first meet them, you're like, I've known you for a very long time. And you just met them, right? Like it's like you've spent lifetimes with them because they're your soul family, because they're here to help you through this lifetime, right? That's why you recognize them so much. That's why you feel so at home with them. That's why you feel so easy to open up to them very quickly, right? And this is a card that's kind of asking you to call in your soul family, right? So your soul family very well could be in this community, this group right here, right? We can, and it's all these people that are on your path to help you move, evolve, and grow, right? So the card, it says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do this alone, right? And they may not be physical people too. It may even be your guides and your angels that have been there on the other side of the veil, you know, just kind of like, when are they going to call me? I've been here the whole time, right? Like, it's just, you need to open up that line of communication. And this card is reminding you of that. To open that line of communication. It's like a mirror, right? What's on the other side of the mirror? You look in that mirror, you see yourself, but there's also your soul. There's two parts to you, right? Look for that other soul piece in everyone else that's connected to, because we're all from the same place, right? So that's what that card is reminding you to do, which is beautiful. Okay. And the last card that came up in this deck was don't dim your light. Don't do it. Don't settle for things that you think you should settle for. Go for the greatness in everything. That's what I'm getting out of this card. The card itself says, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? That's a big question, right? And you may not even be realizing it, because sometimes you have these people in your life that you feel you look up to. So you automatically, as soon as you look up to somebody, you're putting yourself down. And you may not even realize it, but you're looking up to them. You're looking up to them, and you're putting yourself in this place where it's like, I wish I could be better as like you are, right? Or I wish I could have that quality or that trait. But I've said this time and time again, the only reason why you're noticing those traits about this person is because you already hold it in within you. That's the only thing. And we fail to recognize that. So you play this pedestal game, right? You put people on a pedestal, but when really we're all at the same level. We're all in the same boat, right? We have all different life experiences. We're all got here into this one place, in this one space, all differently, but we're all equal in every single way, right? So it's just a matter of realizing that it's that mirrored reflection that is what you're drawn to. The greatness in others that you see is the greatness you hold within yourself already. That's the biggest note and takeaway from that. Oh, that feels good, right? Okay, so I also brought out my animal deck too, because I have been getting a little bit more in tune with my shamanic side and indigenous. I'm not indigenous whatsoever in my physical family history, but I feel in my lifetime history, in the lives, the many lives, the hundreds of thousands of lives that I've lived on this earth, I've played a lot of different roles, and I'm now able to start tapping into the knowledge that I've learned in those lifetimes, and now I can bring it forward and share it with you guys here. So that is so exciting. I'm so excited to do that with you guys. Okay, so this deck is actually from Diana Cooper. Now, Diana Cooper, she is from London. She is an amazing mystic. I would call her a mystic. She has some really potent and powerful meditations, and she is a very high vibrational person. She is a very, very beautiful being. She's definitely higher light in the fifth dimension kind of frequency lady, right? And this is her deck that we're using for the animals. So I'm going to just ask for this group of people who are watching this live replay. I'm also going to be sharing this video on YouTube. So if you want to share this video with somebody, I will share the link tomorrow when it goes live, because I will be recording this here in the group and then sharing it the next day on YouTube. So you can always share the link. I'll share that with you. And yeah, if you feel like there's messages in here for you or for somebody else, definitely help share it and share the messages. Okay, so the card came out, and the animal this week is elephant. They're so pretty. I love the baby elephants. I know my sister is a huge elephant fanatic. She's always been her entire life, and I love it for her. Okay, so the card says, open yourself to true abundance. The angels, so the archangels, the guidance in this card is Archangel Mary, which is Jesus's mother, and Archangel Raphael. So the healer. The whenever I think of Archangel Raphael, it's always green, like this deep, deep green that comes through. For colors have a lot of meaning, a lot of spiritual meaning, a lot of messages come through that, and healing. Healing is huge. Color, I just want to mention this too, is color therapy it has wonders on you. Colors have powers, really. So, okay, I don't want to get too far off track. So I just want to read what guidance the Elephant card has. Opening yourself up to abundance is the first message that comes out on the actual card. And I'm just going to pull up the book. You'd think it's all in alphabetical order. D. Doesn't want to go. Okay. Sorry, it took me so long. Okay, so the elephant. The elephant card reminds you to keep your frequency high by having more fun, incorporating play and being joyful. Whether you're male or female, doesn't make a difference. Practice divine feminine qualities within every area of your life to ensure that you have the strong, stable foundation for your spiritual life. So that's the thing, when you're doing high vibrational things, bringing in that high vibrational attraction, you're attracting abundance already in every single area. Like when we think of abundance, we usually think of money, right? That's only the byproduct of this high frequency state of being, right? And the feminine qualities is all the soft, loving, nurturing, just kind of coddling, right? That loving energy, the softness of life. And the card itself, the rest of the card says, sit quietly and breathe into your third eye. Tuning into the Elephant Kingdom and Archangel Raphael, the awesome emerald angel of healing and abundance. So that's the thing. If you want to start drawing in this energy, in this vibration, you can start working with Archangel Raphael. And how you work with him is really just talking to him and saying, hey, as if he's here. Imagine him, her. It's funny because I say him, but Archangel Raphael is like neither him, male or female. It's just an energy. It just is, which is crazy. But anyway, so you want to really tune into him and kind of get more guidance from that. The guidance you get is those inklings, those nudges, those ideas, those aha moments, those things that you couldn't have thought on your own, right? These are things that come through, and if you start paying attention, if you start getting used to knowing how it feels when these messages come through, then you're going to start catching them, and you're going to start then paying attention to them and be able to use them when they come through, right? So you can start attracting more healing, more abundance into your life. Okay, and then it says when you are focusing on your third eye, you then also link into Jupiter and the ascendant aspect of Jumbe. So to call in that perfect health, the cosmic abundance, and breathe into your own consciousness. Feel the energy permeate into your cells and know that the universe supports your divine perfection and heart's desire. So anything you want is already yours. It's already, if you ask for something in the universe, it's given like that. What takes so long is for it to manifest into our reality. The form of thought has to condense, and then it comes into our physical reality, something that we can physically touch, right? But it takes time to do that, just like having a baby takes time, right? If a flower grows, it takes time for the seed to sprout, for it to go through the ground and then to bloom, right? So just the law of gestation, right? That just knowing that makes it easier to wait for good things to come in, right? The last part, it says, then you send out a stream of light to help build the crystalline web of light around the planet. And the planet literally has an energetic grid that circles the entire planet, the entire world, right? And we are all interconnected through this energetic web. And the more that we imagine this web lighting up, the more quicker things are going to start manifesting. And that's what's actually been happening. We have amazing people on this planet called grid workers. These are a group of people who came specifically to Earth to fix the grids that were broken on the Earth so that our thought patterns, our energies, and everything can connect on a much faster level, right? Just like fast internet speed, right? It's just, it's fast energetic speed. That's really what it was. And I met one of these grid workers in a class that I took one time, and she's amazing. And grid workers, literally, she just meditates and visualizes and moves things energetically in her mind. And it was so cool to like learn about this stuff. And it really opened my mind to realizing that if they can do this, then what else is possible, right? So that really opened a lot of doors for me. And I'm happy to share all of that with you guys as well. So yeah, those are the messages that came through this week. I hope that you resonated with them. I hope that you found some good nuggets of gold in there, because there definitely was. And yeah, so that's really it for me this week. I just really love connecting with you guys and being here. And if you're watching live or the replay, let me know that you're here, say hi, and yeah, we'll connect again very soon. All right, well, you have yourself a lovely week, and I will see you again very, very soon. Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.